Women's Quarters. The Pale Bride. October 3rd, year 319. Dear Diary, I got in trouble today. But for the first time, it was my own fault. A little bit, at least. I still think sister-in-law was being crazy about it, but I should have known better. Now that I write that, it looks ridiculous. God, what is living with these people doing to me? The computer console in my room doesn't have anything in it. I don't just mean it doesn't have all the cartoons I brought from Earth. Oh, she was from the first generation, huh? Or any of my books, or anything. I mean, there's literally nothing there for me to entertain myself with at all. Nothing. So I thought to myself that maybe sister-in-laws might be different, and checked. It wasn't. So instead, I decided to go check in Father's study. Not snooping or anything, just looking on his computer for books. I had a thought that it might be bad, but my real father never would have gotten too upset. What could the harm be? I was in there for maybe 10 minutes, looking for anything that was even written in Korean. There was nothing, by the way. Every single book, symbols that looked like Chinese characters. Every single one. I think maybe something terrible happened in the past that made all the computer data get deleted. So she's Korean, huh? Alright. And everyone forgot how to read Korean. And also they all got really stupid about things. I don't think I'll ever find out why. It just sucks. That really sounds horrible, to be honest. Anyway, I was only in there for 10 minutes, searching through the console when Young Suk walked in. I thought he was going to get angry, but actually he just acted like he was really scared. He didn't scold me when he dragged me out. He just looked really weird. Looked really worried. I'm sorry. I only got in trouble when he brought me back to his wife. He told her, "Do you have any idea where she was?" She was in the man's quarters, looking through Father's computer. Do you have any idea how he would react if he saw that? You're supposed to be watching her. She apologized repeatedly to him. I just didn't know what to say. I don't think this sister-in-law did either. After he left, she gave me this really long and really awful lecture. Why would you go into the man's quarter? Why would you go looking for books? Why must you be so unfilial? That's a new word for me, viewers. Unfilial. Do you really not understand that you're a girl? I told her I didn't understand. I mean, of course I'm a girl. But I had no idea what she was talking about. When I told her that, she just lectured me. But I had no idea what she was talking about. When I told her that, she just lectured at me more. I hate her so much. So what wrong did she do, actually? I think you and I want to talk to us. So there's probably one big question that's on your mind. Isn't there? That isn't being addressed at all, right? What happened in between the pale bride being frozen and waking up that made society go all wrong, right? I do care, yeah. I figured. I mean, it's the obvious question. Sorry, I wish I could tell you, but I'm afraid that mystery is forever lost to me. I guess that's pretty anticlimactic. Sorry. I really want to know too. Whatever terrible thing happened, it must have been really, really big. So whatever horrible thing that happened, nobody recorded it? But I'm afraid all the log data from before the year 1 was wiped. All the clocks were reset. I guess that's why it was called year 1. What? So you mean... they've been on the ship for more than 300 centuries? And the 322 count was when they actually reset the clock? So the theory about the aging thing, about how time goes in space and how time goes on Earth, theory is wrong. I assumed wrong. Alright. Anyway, so nobody remembered what happened in between, or even how long it was between. It was hundreds of years, I assume, but I don't really know. So yeah, really sorry to let you down there. That part's going to be a mystery forever. There's nobody who could possibly know. You'll just have to take it as a given. Sorry. Feels bad, man. So we'll never know. We'll never ever know? We'll never ever 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 know? Yeah, this is the last message that we read. She wants to talk to us more. Say, before you keep going, can I just interrupt you for a couple minutes? Go ahead. Thanks. Well, you're finding out so much about Mogangwa, but I know absolutely nothing about where you're from. Well, we don't have a terminal. It's not just that there's been nobody to talk to for centuries. I mean, I don't like that either. But the ship is all I really know about, and it's been disconnected from all other civilizations. From all other civilizations, it should be, for so long. So, you're from the United Korean Space Probe Agency, right? Or I guess maybe a future version of it? No, the answer, because I am not from the Korean United Space. Oh, I had assumed you were. Well, strictly speaking, only someone from the UK SPA would be authorized to access these systems, so I wouldn't really be able to help you if you weren't. So obviously you must have made some mistake, right? You actually are? Better safe than sorry. No, I'm not. Jeez. I just gave you... Come on, why do you have to be so difficult? Fine, here I am breaking the rules just for you. Are you happy now? Jeez. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I was sincere, though. That's how you want to be in a relationship with a lady, even if it was an artificial intelligence lady. You don't have to be sincere. You have to just read her and try to give you the answer that she wants. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What I really want to know about is Earth. I mean, I'm sort of aware of it. I know it's the planet we all come from. Is that recorded? Was that recorded there too? But I don't really know anything. I don't really know anything at all about it. I have some ideas, but I don't think they are really right. But you know all about it, right? I mean, even if you're not from there yourself, you know what it's like, right? I do. Oh, wonderful. I sort of understand the basics, like it's a big sphere that everyone lives on and there's an unimaginably vast amount of open space. And you can only see the stars at night, right? Because the sky all just looks blue during the day. All of this is just what I know from the Pale Bride. She never saw Earth. She was second generation. Oh, she wasn't she wasn't born from Earth. But she had some stuff from Earth. Okay. Okay, we're learning a little bit from about the Pale Bride here. She never saw Earth. She was second generation, born on the ship after it had long left the Earth's star system. But her parents were born on Earth, so she heard some stories from them when she was young, and I think they brought a lot of books and movies with them. I don't know, I'm just a little skeptical, given she was just a child when she learned all that. Maybe she got mixed up. What can I actually ask in a yes or no question? I didn't realize how hard this would be. Well, alright, so the Muganghwa was originally supposed to be establishing a colony at some star or other 100 light years away. I know that. That was a really long time ago. Did other ships ever succeed where we didn't? Or is it still just Earth? I assume, yeah. I assume we did. Like, it's not a single ship that we found. I mean, it's not a single ship that we actually launched, right? I will assume that there are other planets. Ah, well, that's wonderful to hear. Oh, I know. Is it really true that on Earth, seasons aren't just metaphors like, oh, this sounds silly now that I actually put it in words? But the Pale Bride seemed to think that winter wasn't just something what happened to just you emotionally. On Earth, it was when actually an entire part of the planet turned frigid. Does that have any sort of basis in reality? Kind of, yes? Wow, my word. That's amazing, seriously. That sounds like... I can't even imagine that. What else was there? Oh, there was the city that her parents were from. I think it was called Pyongyang. Pyongyang? Okay. They described it as being amazing. If you looked up, all you would see were huge, bright white building as tall as 100 of more decks. And on the, I'm not sure the word for this, it means sort of the bottom decks? The bottom deck? Anyway, they said that at the bottom, the streets were lined with the willow trees, and the tops of the buildings had flower gardens. Have you ever been to the city before? To that city before? Or at least heard of it? I heard of it, yes. Really? So it does exist then. Is it really as beautiful as they say it? Truly? Probably, Pyongyang is probably one of the worst places you want to live there, lady. Unfortunately. Of course, it's an amazing thought though. Maybe things were different in the past. Who knows? You know, in the game's lore. Well, it is called the United Korean, so probably things got much better in Korea. Like North Korea ceased to be a terrible place. Of course, it's an amazing thought though. Like, they said they met in one of those gardens up in the sky and fell in love at first sight. I guess the gardens probably aren't real, and maybe love at first sight isn't either. But geez, it's so awfully romantic, isn't it? That's really my question, I guess. Is Earth worth being romantic about? I'm not a romantic person, viewers. I gotta be honest. Let's indulge her. Of course! Well, I guess I've already wasted enough of your time with all my silly questions, haven't I? There's just... well, please, humor me once more. Then I promise I'll stop bothering you. It's not a bother, to be honest. Do you think I could ever see Earth? It is possible. I didn't click anything, by the way, viewers. I didn't click anything. I did not click anything. Is there a way? Is there a way to go back in dialogue? I did not click anything. That dialogue just skipped. I can actually read that, by the way. I can read that dialogue since this session is recorded, and you viewers can do that too. And I'm gonna go once I finish recording this. I'm gonna go back to this exact spot and read what I missed. So if you're watching, hopefully you guys will do the same. You know, so you can keep up what she said. Might be a spoiler though, I don't know. I really honestly don't know. Well, thank you for saying that. It just sounds so romantic and I'd really like to see it someday. Thanks. Very well, I promise I'd stop wasting your time. So, what do you want to ask me about? Alright, continuing on. Straight to Hell, The Pale Bride. October 27th, year 319. Do they actually know about the months, or do they name the months like January, October? Do they still follow the Gregorian names, the Gregorian calendar names, or is this some Korean months? I really don't have any idea about Korean culture, and they probably follow some kind of a calendar of their own, because I remember that the Koreans do have their own calendar. I don't know what it's called though. Anywho, October 27th, year 319. This nightmare has gone... Oh, what the hell did I press? Oh, it was by mistake. Sorry about that, viewers. This nightmare has gone... This nightmare has gone for so long. I think I'm starting to forget what life used to be like. I have new theory. Father was wrong about the cryostasis, keeping me alive until I could be cured. I think it didn't work at all. I think I just died and went straight to hell. Damn. I decided I'm going to write down all the things I used to be able to do, just so I can remember. I used to be able to read books. I used to be able to have friends. I used to be able to go to school. I used to be able to leave the home and go visit the plaza, anywhere else on the ship. Or anywhere else on the ship. I think I even used to be able to be in any part of the house I wanted, and talk to visitors as much as I'd like. I have memories of always spending time with my father and mother and brother in the living room. I know my real father thought being respectful was important too, but I don't know, I'm so confused now. I thought he always taught me to be strong and to speak up for myself. Did he really say that? I'm being sarcastic, of course. But the scary thing is, sometimes I really do forget. Sometimes I think, if I just was obedient to what sister-in-law tells me to do, it would make things easier. Maybe I should just give in and be passive. Just sometimes. I'm scared, though. What if I end up really believing that? Such a sad tale. Actually, something tells me that the music is actually up for a little bit. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Wife. The Pale Bride. November 23rd, year 319. Dear Diary, today I found out the household servant, I still can't believe we have one, why, has been so insistent on teaching me how to cook. Well, she doesn't call it that. She calls it serving meals. A year ago, I wouldn't have thought that sounded sinister. Now I know better. I don't care about this. I told her after the 7th day in a row of her lessons. Can't we do something else? Like going back to sewing? I always loved cosplay. Let's do that. Cosplay? Well, I guess we know about the cosplay history. This is where the cosplay thing begins. The description talked about that. This game is about cosplay? I know it's not fun, but your sister wants you to learn this. I know that's not fun, but your sister wants you to learn this too. And it's very important. Your father is concerned too. So take it seriously. Please, young miss. Don't call me that, I said. I don't remember exactly what I said to prompt her next response. Along the lines of, why is it important? Or something. I don't remember what I said. Just a response, which blew me away. She will make a good wife, of course. Again, I don't remember what I said in response. Maybe I told her that I didn't want to. Maybe I told her that I was too young to care about that. Maybe I said that I'd just go marry someone who was good at it himself when it was time to care about that. Whatever I said, she didn't take it seriously. Don't be silly, she said, as if I was obviously joking. Your father really is worried about your marriage next year. Now is not the time to joke around on the matter. My what? I asked her. Oh my, she said. He never told you? I'm sorry, forgive me. Forgive me, pretend I said nothing. I didn't mean to ruin the surprise. I'm sure he'd want to explain the happy news himself. Happy news, huh? Are you serious? I asked. The idea didn't make any sense, but since when did anything in this hell make sense? She said yes. You're going to be so happy to hear who it is. He'd better explain, I shouted, and as I stormed off. He'd better. I don't know, the writing here doesn't make sense. Like did she actually wrote that and stormed off? Maybe she after that maybe she wrote that immediately after what the maid told her, or the servant. The bride's adolescence. Kim Jong-soo.